So Billy Madison was also one of those movies that were kind of critically panned. Probably got less than 50% when it premiered. I think Siskel and Ebert gave it like two thumbs down. But for me, it's one of those movies that is super timeless. Um, it's just enjoyable to watch. It's very lighthearted and it's just always like, a good like chillaxing movie to put on every once in a while, and you don't have to think too much. I think Billy Madison is definitely one of so it's like obviously the start of what became kind of like a Adam Sandler empire. Um, he did Going Overboard ahead of Billy Madison. But, I definitely recommend maybe putting that on and just taking a look, but it's kind of you're probably not going to be able to get through it. It's basically like a college film. It's not very, uh, yeah, it's tough to get through. So Billy Madison is the first of like what became like like a long series of Adam Sandler movies. Um, so really, in recent years, I feel like Billy Madison. I mean, not, Adam Sandler. He hasn't been quite the same. Um, Movie wise. I enjoy him as an actor and comedian. But the movies, they're just not the same. So I think, what this could really be, um, the biggest factor is actually looking at the producer. The producer of Billy Madison was a guy named Robert Simonds. Um, so I actually had to look it up because I am not really following the movie industry as much as I used to. So, Robert Simmons, he actually got his start with Problem Child and Problem Child 2. He also did Airheads, but he did Billy Madison. He did Happy Gilmore. He did Bulletproof. A couple other movies not Adam Sandler related. He did The Wedding Singer. He did The Water Boy, Big Daddy, Little Nicky, and that was it for Adam Sandler. And I think of those movies I just listed, those are probably the movies that Adam Sandler is most well known for. So I think you can pretty much consider Billy Madison to be a success of the producer, Robert Simmons, as much as a success for Billy Madison, Adam Sandler. um, but yeah, story wise, it's very simplistic, but it's not meant to be, thought provoking in any sort of way. It's just anyone who's trying to think of it like that, just doesn't know how to have a good time. Um, just a lighthearted good time. The movie's just enjoyable. It's fun. It's silly. Um, I personally think Bridgette Wilson is awesome in the movie. She's one of my favorites. She stopped acting, not too long after this movie came out. I guess she got married and had kids, which is awesome. But yeah, Billy Madison just kind of set the stage to make more movies just like it, and again, just lighthearted, and it kind of reminds me of Tommy Boy in a way, just kind of silly, the silly child of just a rich guy. Um, just kind of like a theme back then, and it's like you don't want to look up to Billy Madison. It's just more like, hey, look at this guy, he's a fool. And I mean, that's what comedy's all about, right? You had the Three Stooges, and they're all fools. If you're like looking at Billy Madison and being like, oh, you can't look up to him. Oh, like he's a drunk. Like, what do you think comedy is? Like that's literally what comedy is. So I had looked up some reviews from back then, and just some of the stuff I was reading. Like, what? Like, I don't know. For me, it's a 9 to 10 out of 10. So like 90% to 100%. And that's because the movie to me is timeless. All these years later, it came out in 1995. So so it's 2022 now. So 05, 15, like it's going on 30 years. So it's at like 27 years, I think it came out. And it's just timeless. You can throw it on at any time. So if you haven't seen it, check out Billy Madison. Basically, quick summary of the movie. 30-something-year-old man-child finds out that his dad paid for him to graduate high school way back in the day. His dad's retiring, giving away the hotel, and he doesn't want to leave it to Billy Madison because he's a quote-unquote fool. And Billy Madison finds out that he got through school only because his dad paid his way through, and now he wants to prove to his dad that he can graduate on his own. So basically every week he's gonna do a new grade until he graduates high school. And in the meantime, you get the dad's manager who thinks Billy Madison is a fool and is actively working against him. And of course, you got the love interest and one of the grade school teachers, Bridgette Wilson. Again, one of my faves. And it's just great. It's got Chris Farley in it, and Norm Macdonald, and just a lot of good, typical Adam Sandler shenanigans. And so I give it a 9 to 10 out of 10, where everyone else, especially at the time, was giving it a 4 out of 10. But all these years later, where are these people that gave it a 4 out of 10, and where's Adam Sandler? So that's what it's all about. I think humanity tends to reward the people who are, clicking the positive vibrations and, making your brain happy. And I think this is just one of those movies that clicked with people. And, you just had a lot of negativity around it, way back in the day. But whatever, So, anywho, that's Billy Madison. Again, I don't have too much time because on this channel, I am not a verified account yet. I have to wait a year. So I'm limited, and that's it. If you have any thoughts on Billy Madison, just leave them in the comments below. And until next time, if you watch another one of my review videos, that is it. Billy Madison.